The Venera Venus missions. Meet Venera 4, a Soviet space probe moments away from making history as the first to attempt landing on another planet, Venus. Back then, Venus was shrouded in mystery. Scientists thought that beneath its dense cloud cover lay a world somewhat like Earth, with a similar 1-bar atmosphere and Earth-like temperatures. But no one expected the harsh reality awaiting this small spacecraft. What happened to Venera 4? As Venera 4 plunged into Venus's atmosphere at a staggering 40,000 kilometers per hour, its parachute deployed and the antenna began transmitting data back to Earth. Initially, the atmospheric pressure resembled Earth's, and the temperature hovered around a comfortable 30 degrees Celsius. But as the probe descended deeper, the readings spiraled wildly out of range. One atmosphere quickly became 10, then 20, and the temperature soared beyond 200 degrees Celsius. Suddenly, the probe's hull cracked under the immense pressure, severing all communication. The final data revealed an atmosphere 22 times denser and 250 degrees Celsius hotter than Earth's. Now aware of Venus's brutal environment, the Soviets were more determined than ever to conquer the planet. We've recreated these incredible probes to show how the Soviets finally managed to land, capture images, and even record audio on the surface of our solar system's most hostile world. The evolution of the Venera probes. The earliest Venera landers were fairly simple: a 1-meter-wide titanium sphere, pressurized inside to around 25 atmospheres, equipped with a handful of scientific instruments and a battery to power the descent. Without thrusters, these probes relied solely on drag and a series of parachutes to slow their fall. But Venus's thick atmosphere posed a major challenge. Instead of a quick descent, Venera 4 slammed into the atmosphere like a brick wall and slowed to just 18 kilometers per hour, far slower than anticipated. This meant the probe endured 90 grueling minutes of intense heat and pressure, until it was ultimately crushed. The Soviets realized time was their enemy once inside Venus's atmosphere. To succeed, a probe had to pass through fast enough to avoid being crushed or melted. A Soviet fax, and a modern sponsor. Legend has it the Soviets once faxed NASA requesting a special heat-resistant material, but the fax never got through, allegedly because NASA was using Inkogi, today's sponsor, to block it. Just kidding. Inkogi didn't exist back then. But today Inkogi protects us from a similar kind of invasion: spam calls and unwanted emails. How do these companies get our data? Data brokers collect and sell our personal info to marketing agencies, bombarding us with pointless calls and emails. These databases are also prime targets for criminals. The good news? You can fight back. Inkogi contacts these companies on your behalf and demands they delete your information. Just sign up, relax, and let Inkogi do the work. Since joining Inkogi, here are just some of the companies that no longer spam me. To protect your privacy and end spam for good, visit inkogi.com/primalspace and use code primalspace for 60% off. What happened to Venera 7? To survive Venus's hellish atmosphere, the Soviets redesigned the probe for a faster descent. They added a cord to the parachute that prevented it from opening right away, allowing Venera 7 to plummet faster. Made from a material that melts at 200 degrees Celsius, the parachute stayed closed until the probe was close to the surface. Since the surface pressure was still a mystery, the probe's walls were doubled in thickness, now able to withstand 180 atmospheres. As Venera 7 hit the atmosphere, it slowed and deployed its parachute. Then the cord cut loose, letting it speed through the thick air. At just 3 kilometers above ground, the parachute tore off and the probe plummeted, crashing at 60 kilometers per hour. The Soviets assumed failure, until weeks later they found a faint signal transmitting for 23 minutes after landing. The probe had survived, though knocked on its side, weakening the antenna's signal. The last data revealed a staggering surface temperature of 500 degrees Celsius. What happened to Venera 8? Temperature was the main enemy, limiting mission time on Venus. For Venera 8, engineers devised a clever cooling solution: blocks of lithium nitrate inside the probe. This salt-like substance has a high heat of fusion, meaning it absorbs a huge amount of heat as it melts from solid to liquid. In fact, it takes nearly 300 joules of energy per gram just to melt the material, soaking up heat and protecting the electronics. Thanks to this, Venera 8 survived a full hour on Venus's surface, surviving Venus in the 1970s. With Venera 8, the Soviets had mastered the art of reaching Venus alive. But the world still didn't know what this strange planet looked like. Enter Venera 9, the first probe to take pictures on Venus. Completely redesigned, it ditched parachutes for a large air brake to slow descent and had landing legs to absorb impact. Most importantly, Venera 9 featured a revolutionary camera system. 2 movable cameras mounted inside the pressurized hull, each linked to a periscope poking through a thick pressure window. A rotating lens scanned a 180 view, correcting for the thick window's distortion. Each camera had large lens caps designed to pop off after landing, though on Venera 9 only one worked. This produced the very first images from the surface of Venus, taking pictures and recording sound on Venus. Later missions improved the cameras, eventually capturing high-definition color images. On Venera 14, a microphone was added, recording real sounds from the surface, including the probe's landing and an instrument drilling into Venusian soil. The legacy of the Venera missions. The Soviets successfully landed on Venus 8 times, sending back incredible images and scientific data about this mysterious world, an achievement no one has repeated in over 50 years. And now, the Primal Space giveaway. Congratulations to David, the winner of our previous giveaway. In the next video, we'll be giving away a custom Primal Space Venera poster to one lucky viewer. To enter, sign up at the link below, like the video, and leave a comment sharing your thoughts on the Venera space probes. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.